William Hutchison, Armenia, Colombia Realty for Expats, and Salento, Colombia Realty. Own them both with Alba, my wife. I mentioned yesterday that I would get back to you with some Sura information, and I have some, but only some. We asked for 18 specific categories of premium, and I guess what it looks like is we've gotten maybe 4, but that's fine. It'll give you some idea, not a huge idea, but some idea of what the premiums here for healthcare are going to cost you. Please sit down, because you're not going to believe. I keep talking about how inexpensive things are here, but I hear some fantastic premiums back in the US, and this is going to help some of you that are pre-retirement age that are looking at coming to Armenia. Those of retirement age, because my information here stops at the age of 59. You're going to have to deal with it on an individual basis, but I think using these premiums, you can see that even as you get older, they won't be very much. Sura came back to us. I'm just going to refer to my notes. Sura came back to us with what they call their preferential plan, and it covers a lot of things. It covers 24-hour emergency and dental care, but it has to be on an emergency basis, obviously. You have direct access to specialists, and there's no co-payments. Now, the one thing I want to tell you about health insurance here, whether you're with EPS, Sura, Sanitas, whatever, and all of the things that I've heard are that Sura is the best. That's who I'm with. There's no way that you can walk into a doctor's office, a GP. You can walk into a specialist office. We've made appointments directly with specialists for clients, so that's no issue. But most of the GPs, if not all of them, work for the insurance companies. There's security at the door. If you don't have an appointment, we print our appointments off, show it to the security guard, and we get in. If you don't have an appointment, there's no way that you're going to get in to see a doctor. We have a doctor who handles our emergencies, comes to the house for the visa process, is very responsive. Usually, I don't think we've had her not come that very same day that we've had an issue here that we had to have some medical attention. So that is an advantage. If you're uninsured and here for a while, then we can get you emergency medical treatment, as long as it isn't serious. These were more or less minor issues. Now, this preferential policy, I'll just tell you what it covers: internal medicine, gynecologist, urologist, orthopedics, dermatologist, nutritionist. This one I've never heard of: a bioenergist, obstetrician, ophthalmologist. If you end up in the hospital, it also includes a private room. I was in a private room a year and a half ago now, 15, 16 months, and the private room also has a private bathroom, wall-to-wall, floor-to-ceiling glass overlooking the city, just a beautiful room. The premiums, what you want to know. Up to actually between the ages of 41 to 50, premium for this is $39 a month. I'm using 4,400 pesos to the dollar. Obviously, if the peso weakens as forecast and it moves 10%, then your premium now has become $36, $35, $36 a month. So it depends a little bit on the exchange rate. 4,400 is rounded off. I think it's around 43.50 today. I haven't looked yet. 51 to 59. $49 a month. You're going to have to look at this on an individual basis. You can get the policy if you have a cedula. And I think what is going to have to happen, and I qualify these comments, I know Maria that's getting our visas is getting a temporary health insurance policy because the immigration department here issuing visas will only issue a visa that expires the same date as your health insurance. So she gets the 1-year policy so people can get a visa that expires in a year. Now, I don't know about the process. If it takes a month to get the visa approved, I suppose that you've got 11-month visa, but that's no big issue. Applying for this, you need to have the cedula. And the cedula is pretty straightforward. Once you get a visa, you go locally, you have it registered. They fingerprint you, photo you, send the details off to Bogota, and in some period of time, the cedula comes back and you go in and pick it up. It's the national ID card, similar to a social security card, and about the size of a credit card, okay? So that's the process. I would suggest that you, if you're using Maria, and I don't know why you'd want to use anyone else, but that's a biased opinion, you use her, you just follow her guidelines, and you get the health insurance. You cancel it once you have the cedula and you're approved for Sura. What I want to find out is if someone pays the year's premium with Sura, is that acceptable for the immigration people? And once I have the answer to that, I will get back to you, because I'm understanding that the 1-year health insurance, it's near enough $1,000 either side. And if you look at this one premium here of $39 a month, 12 months would be under $500, half the money that you would have to lay out up front. So I'm going to find out if that's going to be acceptable. Because if you could pay the 1-year Sura premium, and I can't understand why the government wouldn't accept a health insurance expiry date from a Colombian company, then you would be okay just with Sura straight off the bat. Okay, there would be something to do with the cedula, and maybe Sura wouldn't accept it even though you were in the process of getting a visa. So that's the information that I have. It's just for information purposes. I can't give you any premiums more than that. They've told us that 60 and over, they look at it individually. My understanding here is that you can't be turned down for pre-existing conditions. In Colombia, it's against the law. So you've got all these things working for you. You've got a health insurance premium that's a fraction of where you are. What's stopping you? Start checking out Armenia. It's paradise. I live in paradise, and you can too.